I've got a path laid in front of me. I will follow it down to wherever it leads. A lingering voice has been calling to me to come home. I'm coming home.
Hi everyone, we are here in our backyard and Will and I just wanted to introduce ourselves. So I'm Sarah Martinez.
I am Will Martinez.
And we are moving to El Salvador.
El Salvador, my home country.
In just a few short months, we're going to pack up our family and a few of our belongings, not much.
And just go.
And take a flight to our new home. We don't have a home yet. We're going to get there and figure it out. And we just want to kind of share some of our thoughts with you about what got us here. And specifically for Will, it's a bit different than it is for me. Because he's returning to his homeland. And so there's the story about his experience and where he's coming from and why he's choosing to return back with his family now. So I thought maybe I would just put the spotlight on you for a minute.
No. Oh, no.
Even though you don't like that. And just, find out from you and share with our viewers what brought you to make this decision.
Well, I've been living here in Canada for about, let's say, 33 years. I lived in Mexico before, and I honestly thought that I would never return to my country again, just for the fact that, the Civil War and the gang violence, it was very dangerous, and I have kids, right? I have four children. I never thought it would be safe for them to ever return. So never in my dreams did I ever think that I would be returning home. That I actually would even see my home country again. Started thinking about going somewhere else, just because to be honest, Canada and the rest of the G7 nations, all the Western countries, they all becoming very totalitarian regimes, and they want to impose so much surveillance, and they want to take so much freedoms from everybody. And a lot of people don't see it. A lot of people will disagree with me, but I believe that it's moving in the wrong direction. But also in all to North America, there's a movement that is called the woke movement, that it is trying to normalize a lot of things, and it's basically I feel that the children are in danger. So
We both strongly feel that our moral values are definitely in conflict with this new ideology that seems to be spreading across the Western world, and it's pretty strong here in Canada.
Yeah, and one thing is for sure, that I know that my country has a strong family values. But what made me this decision of actually looking at El Salvador as an option to go, it was that actually my wife, Sarah, actually introduced me to some YouTube videos of some Canadians that were actually moving to El Salvador, and then she just told me, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch that your country is doing great. And I had heard before from I have all my family here in Canada, right? And my uncles and my cousins, they told me before that there was this new president that actually was doing a lot of changes in El Salvador.
Bukele.
And then there was this new president and his team that it was actually that it looked like he cared about his people, unlike we have ever seen before in El Salvador. We have never had a government that actually cared about Salvadorians, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many people. So we have never had a president that actually cared. And I started watching videos of him and watching videos of the great things that he was doing in El Salvador, and it was just like, it was amazing. It was amazing to see the great things that him and his team is accomplished. Him and his team are accomplishing. But you know, he's got a great team, but also at the end of the day, there has to be that leadership. There has to be that leader that wants to change things, the leader that wants to develop and help a nation grow. And President, I am proud to call him my president, and said that he's been doing great things. So then it got me excited after many hours of watching videos of normal people, of how things have changed in El Salvador. Then I just told my wife, you know what? She's been actually bugging me. She's been bothering me for many years.
I've been bugging you for quite a long time.
For many years, she's been saying, "Can we go to El Salvador? Let's go to El Salvador." And then, my answer was always nope.
I've wanted to visit for so many years. So.
And my answer was always nope. No, it's not dangerous, not safe for the kids. Nope, we're not going there.
It was always just no, and that's final. There's no way that we're going there. That will never happen. So it's really so ironic when you think about that in retrospect to where we are right now.
Right. So you know, and then after many hours of researching and seeing what was happening in El Salvador and the great president that we have now, with a great team, we made the decision that actually El Salvador was a great option to go for the simple reason that it's my home country, and then the second reason is that it's actually the right time to go back, because it's a nation that is developing very nicely, and we're just gonna be there in time to be part of it, and we wanna be part of it, of the developing of a great nation. So then you know, I mean, our kids are gonna thrive over there. They're gonna do great, and it's finally gonna be safe for them, and that's the most important thing, right? And then the strong family values that my country has. That's a big part of why we decided to go back, to finally go back, and I'm excited to actually, after I believe it's 43 years that I haven't been back to my country. I got out when I was my mother took me out, and my brothers and she took us out when we were only I was 8 when I left El Salvador. So I don't remember much. I remember a few things, but I don't remember many places. And so I was only 8, like I said, and it's been 43 years, and I'm excited. I'm excited to actually see my home country again. Yeah.
You know, it's amazing to think about it, because when you leave as a child from your home country and you flee from a civil war, and then you make a new life in another country, as so many have done right here in Canada, you just never think that this is something that could happen, or that's in your cards. You put down roots, and that's it. But a lot has changed in a short period of time. I would say that the turning point in our lives was definitely the pandemic, because it made us stop and question a lot of things. Our priorities, our environment, how we wanted to raise our children. You know, we started to really question everything. And then we started to ask ourselves, well, maybe there's something better for us out there somewhere else, right? That's more aligned with our values. And we actually were thinking about, okay, well, let's get an exit strategy and find a way that we can have an alternate plan if we need to. Because we were thinking this way, right? In the middle of the pandemic, we were definitely thinking this way, as Will said, some of our concerns. And that's when we discovered what was happening in El Salvador. It was like our eyes we'd been illuminated to the possibilities, and it was just this bright, incredible, shining beacon of light amidst a world of chaos and uncertainty, confusion, division, polarity. It was this beautiful, bright and shining star. I like to refer to El Salvador as a phoenix rising from the ashes. Do you think that's a good description?
Well, we could see it that way, right? I mean, many Salvadorians, I'm pretty sure they're seeing the changes, but at the same time they might say, it's like, what are you talking about? We've always been here. We've been here since. But many Salvadorians are no longer with us because of that reason of the things that were happening. But I'm gonna a simple term to describe is like, I mean, to see why El Salvador is just like, I'm gonna quote or paraphrase President Nayib Bukele when he said that when other countries are falling into tyranny, El Salvador will become a refuge for freedom. I completely agree with that 100%. I don't know if that's like the exact quote, but it's along those lines. That's what he said. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing my home country, and I'm looking forward to raising my kids in soon to be a great country as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to raise our children in El Salvador. I think that there's more traditional values in El Salvador. I think that the strength of the family unit, the community spirit, and just the strength and unity of the people is something that I've always respected so much. And over the last almost 20 years together and raising 3 children, I've developed this great respect and admiration for the Salvadoran people, for the culture, and for everything about the culture. And now I'm actually going to get to experience it firsthand. So for me, I'm actually super, super excited about this, the opportunity to teach in El Salvador, to teach English, and that's been a dream of mine for 3 or 4 years now, since I started teaching 5 years ago, and I thought I would love to teach in Latin America.
Yeah, I think it's been longer than that. I think it's been longer than that because you've been talking about teaching in Latin America for many years, and even that was even before you became a teacher.
This is true, actually. It was a dream before it was actually a possible reality. That's very true. So, it's interesting that we're both feeling this really strong pull towards El Salvador, and we know in our heart that 110% everything feels right. We just know it's the right move for our family, and honestly, right now at this point, it's just about preparing, but at the same time, we've got so much going on here and in life in general, getting ready for this monumental change in our lives and preparing ourselves and our families for this big change. But one thing that really made a big difference for us, we want to give a really big shout out to everybody who's been out there putting out content on YouTube and sharing their own experiences, because that has been such a big motivation and an inspiration for us. Isn't that right, Hen?
Yep. Lots of YouTubers out there that have been showing us how the changes that have been happening in El Salvador and how things are is what help us make the decision. But at the same time, I believe that knowing that Canada is going in the wrong direction, I don't want to get too political into it, but it's going in the wrong direction with the WF trying to put all their agenda into Canada, with all the woke movement coming to Canada, United States, Canada, and trying to indoctrinate our children, normalize a lot of things that are not good for our children. What I truly feel, though, that it was, while all these things happen in Canada and we are aware of it, what I was going to say is that that we were looking for an exit strategy, we were looking at what to do because of what was coming, or what is coming to Canada. It's like, it was like God gave us a vision and guide us, and like, look at that way, look at this nation.
That's so
I have put a great man down there for you guys to head that way, and I truly believe that it was him guiding us, giving us the vision to do that, and said, start looking at YouTubers, start looking at some researchers, and watch what's happening in your country, because you're gonna love what's happening in your country. And that's exactly how it all happened. And it was just in the blink of an eye, we were thinking what's going on, and then we look at that, and there's, how is it possible that this happened in Salvador? It's like, this is great. Like, at the same time that we need a place to go, this is happening in Salvador, right place to go, right?
It was as though God had pointed us to a specific path that leads to El Salvador, and said, this is your path and this is your destiny. And that's why we don't have any doubts, and that's why we feel so strongly about our choices, because we do feel that this is something that we're destined to do this. This is the next chapter of our lives. So we're really happy to have you guys to join us and come along with us on this journey and this huge monumental change. And we hope that whatever we share with you guys, that you're going to be able to find inspiration, just like we did from so many others who did the same. And thank you so much for all of that, because it did make a difference for us, and it is for so many. And so we just want to also do that as well, and share in our journey with you guys, and we hope that you'll come along and join us.
So basically, we're just gonna basically sell everything that we own, and grab a few things that we want to bring with us, and then just head down there and start from scratch. Over there. And but I believe it's the beginning of a new journey, and that's why it's a great title for the channel that my wife chose for
you like
that.
It?
Yeah, I think it's fitting.
Brave new path.
It's fitting for what's going to happen, what's coming, right? So,
and yes, it was inspired by Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. I read it, and I just it clicked. So I went with that one.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It is a brave new path. And for many of you who might be watching and thinking about doing this, or you're already in the process, or maybe you've already arrived in El Salvador or somewhere else in Central America, possibly, who knows? But it's a brave new path when you decide to embark on a journey and adventure like this one. So we can kind of relate in that way with each other. So yeah, I think that we'll leave you guys here with that thought. Now, if you have questions for us about what we're doing to prepare, of course we're going to be sharing content. I'm going to try to get something up every week or two. I'm a busy mom of 3, but I am going to do my best to get content up, because I am the content creator here. And I got to track this guy down and get my content whenever I get an opportunity, but we'll share as much as we can. And if you have questions you shoot at us, or even feedback, anything that you think might be helpful for us, suggestions, please. We really want to engage with you as much as possible. Leave comments, and we definitely want to be able to have that back and forth engagement with you guys. So we look forward to the next video. Please like and subscribe if you want to keep following us on our journey for our next video. And we'll see you all soon.
Bye, guys. Take care.